magic age of might. A band of heroes step up to the fight, playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons.
Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Sound the horns of idiocy.
Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons.
Hey everybody, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical, parrot of all trades, master of feathers. In real life, I write multiple series including Quincy Harker Demon Hunter, The Black Knight Chronicles, and Bubba the Monster Hunter, the most recent release of which is Swamp Music, available today, like for weeks now. Why don't you already own this? Please, God, give me your money. My cat needs to eat.
Hi, I'm Joseph Brassi. I play the role of Bjorg Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. I was an author on the Mongoliad books. My novels Skyfarer and Dragon Road are available from Angry Robot Books. And I am the author of such non-existent titles as... Go dream about what that might be.
Hey everyone, my name is Rick Gualtieri and I play the Stallion of the Gods. In real life, I write several series, including the Tomobile Universe, which by the time you're listening to this, the newest book, Wannabe Wizard, False Icons Book 2, written with award-winning author Ari Carr, who has infinitely more awards than me because, well, I have none. But that'll be out, so go check it out.
Hello, friends. My name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy, novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures, and so far ending with the most recently released Critical Failures 8, Galleons of Seamen. And I must say, I'm shocked to hear what Joe thinks of.
Hi there, my name's Steve Weverill, and I play Brandon Firemaster, monk-cat hybrid thing. In real life, I write lots of things, the most exciting of which is the current issue 1 of Chronicles of Calamity, the Authors and Dragons comic book adaptation, which is currently being crowdfunded on Indiegogo, and it's gonna be freaking sweet, so go check that out if you haven't already.
Hey everybody, I am Drew Hayes, author of books such as Superpowered, Fred the Vampire Accountant, Spells, Swords, and Stealth, and 5 Minute Sherlock, the second of which I have almost completed the rough draft on. So that'll be going off to the editors very soon, and after that, out of my hands, but hopefully not too long before we all get to see the audible version of it. When last we left our intrepid adventurers on this adventure of adventuring adventure...
Right.
Real...
This is why you have editors.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm feeling the adventure vibe now.
Yeah. Felt like that was a good last one. You know, we really ratcheted things up a bit. When last we left off, Fandingo and Bjorg had successfully recovered their bodies.
Yay!
To an extent. You gained the ability to transform into yourselves for a minute per short rest.
Like a reverse druid.
That's really all I need to accomplish what needs to be accomplished in my half-elven form.
That's fair, actually, yeah. There's only really one reason you wanted your body back, and you won't need that reason for any more than a minute at a time.
Right. And I'll need a short rest right after, because I'm going to fall asleep, so...
Wow.
I don't know. This whole animal form thing, I'm starting to see the appeal.
Yeah, I don't have the one reason yet, except for the giant dong.
Except for the giant dong.
That was your only reason to continue living before you got turned into a weasel.
That's the only reason the Stallion of the Gods wants to keep his current form.
I guess I am essentially a giant dong right now.
Truer words may never have been spoken.
At some point, you all have to form like a Voltron of animal characters, and Klaus insists on being the dong.
I mean, yeah.
What else is he gonna be?
Yeah.
This is perfect. I just swing from the big robot legs. I don't have to do much.
Look, I don't often ask our fans for fan art. If somebody can please.
Someone draw animal Voltron with a weasel dick.
Yeah.
Why did I? That is a sentence that I said in the year of our Lord 2020.
I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not doing this right now. That's too tall a task for me.
As a reminder for the potential artists out there, Bjorg is a boar, Brandon is a puma, Fandingo is a parrot, Stallion of the Gods is a horse, Klaus is of course a weasel, and Gordon is a druid, so you can really make him whatever you need to finish out your Voltron. So, he's kind of the free space in bingo for you.
I mean, we've practically drawn it for you. There's no excuse now.
Oh, and remember, we will probably be horrified by the results.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm already horrified by the thought.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Joe, definitely post this in the live chat. I want these entries.
Oh, so while we're all just contemplating that mental image together, the game has ended, the night has fallen. Did you guys want to try and grab a rest?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Catnap.
I can't cast parrot fireballs until I have a long rest again.
Okay.
Bjorg, of course, now says no rest.
We need everyone else's body so I can return to my permanent form.
Yeah, I see people changing back into their normal form, and I know the clock's ticking. I'm gonna, I've got all my hit points. I'm gonna use my rest.
Suck your own dick.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I just want to be clear here. For 8 hours?
Well, no, I mean, no. You never get a better sleep after you suck your own dick.
Presumably.
Well, that happened.
Well, we're just giving you gold for the live journal today.
Jesus
last-
wept.
Yeah.
So did Klaus.
Okay, guys. The sun's going down, as is the weasel. I guess we make a camp.
Hey, Mr. Hister, is this place safe?
It's as safe as anywhere on the island, which is to say, somewhat. See you next time. And he's gonna grab onto his little artifact, and he shall vanish.
He was adorable.
We should have killed him.
So the clearing is deserted. You all have the freedom to post up, relax. Again, the sun has gone down, so it's nighttime, and stars are out. It's quite beautiful. Lots of animal noises all over because fucking duh.
I think this is, a defensible position compared to where we have been. We've got a line of sight to the tree line. There are lots of flat surfaces I could try out. Maybe put some things on the surfaces, knock the things off the surfaces. It could be a good time.
Tell Gordon to not start a fire, because then we might have to actually see Klaus.
Some of us are cursed with dark vision.
I think Klaus is probably dumb by now. I mean,
This time,
nobody knows how to suck a dick like themselves.
I guess.
Again, presumably.
Probably. This is a terrible conversation. I want no part of it.
Look,
Moving my character over here to the other side of the rock from where Klaus is.
it's like the difference between masturbating and getting a hand job. You know how to do it
I
the
can
best.
still hear him. I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm going to go over here, and if anything,
I'm
Rodent gets with.
speculating.
I'm flying to the top of that statue in the center of all of this.
I'm moving to stone number 8.
If anything rodent shape gets within range, I'm going to stomp it.
Do I need to roll something?
You know what? You're taking your time. This isn't a hurried skill check. You can you take as long as you need, buddy. This is actually a great definition of what it means to take 20.
Yeah.
Even the rules of Dungeons and Dragons have stepped uncomfortably away from you at this time.
I'm just saying, like, last time I had to roll, but when it's your mouth, you don't have to roll.
Great. You're like a living Go-Gurt container.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, you're in a situation where you're not under pressure to perform. You can just, again, you can take as long as you need. So it's more you just try until you get it right.
Yeah, and all right, I will enjoy my long rest afterward.
Nobody else is going to enjoy theirs.
No, they're not.
Okay, everybody roll me one perception through the night.
Oh, I don't know if I should take a deliberate disadvantage on this.
Please, natural one. Please, natural one.
Fendingo rolls a 14.
Stallion rolls a 10.
Klaus Richter rolls a natural 20.
Oh
My God, Brandon Firemaster rolls an 18 despite his best efforts.
Bjorg rolls a 15.
How did you roll a natural 20? I mean,
Clarity!
rolls a perception. Jake comes to the sudden fucking realization that he really needs to brush his teeth.
He's aware of every last drop.
Oh, God damn it.
I mean, I've heard of a coat on your tongue, but this is ridiculous.
No. It's like a raincoat on your tongue.
So the DC was 2020 to be woken up. So we'll go ahead and give you that first. Klaus, you are woken in the night by the distant sound of music. It is very ruckus, a lot of synth, definitely some techno influence, and it is coming from somewhere further off on the island.
Sorry.
And that one you got for passing 20. Oh man, for a natural 20.
Ace of base.
You actually hear all carried over. All right, make some noise. DJ Chirrup in the house. Let me hear you nocturnal people scream. And then you hear a bunch of animal noises.
Well, I guess Fandingo would be the one most interested in this. I don't know that I want to wake everyone up for a concert, but if I know where Fandingo is holed up in a nest or something, then I'll seek him out and give him a nudge.
You can just call up to the top of the statue I'm sleeping on to get away from you.
Drew?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to call up to the statue.
Oh. Well, no, I don't want to call up. I don't want to wake up everyone. I just, I'll try to climb up.
I tell you what, guys, I just remembered that pumas are nocturnal. I'm probably just like lying awake right now anyway.
Pumas might be, but you're not on that sleeping schedule yet. But yeah, you are sleeping terribly. Brandon Thighmaster is just rolling back and forth on his rock.
This doesn't feel right.
All right, so you wanted to climb the statue. I think that's a pretty clear-cut athletics check.
I'll give it a whirl. Klaus rolls a 5.
Klaus attempts to scamper up and makes no progress whatsoever. He cannot get traction. It's too dark. He's too tired, and he's just like, the amount of effort you're putting in does not yield results.
All right, well, I don't care about other people's feelings. I'll call up to him. Hey, Fandingo.
No.
All right.
Okay, wait. If you're speaking, that means you don't have your dick in your mouth.
You don't know that.
Yeah, that feels like a lot of faith that you're having in that.
Do you currently have your dick in your mouth?
All right, well, I don't need to... I forget words.
Take your dick out of your mouth?
No. Dignify. I don't need to dignify that question. If he can hear me, then he can hear the music, and that's all I came to alert him to. So, fuck you. I'm putting my dick back in my mouth.
It is not surprising that Klaus forgets the concept of dignity.
And that is why I did not ever open my eyes.
I didn't ask you. I don't give a fuck about you. I thought you might enjoy this music. That's all right. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm going back to sleep.
All right, is the music cool?
Fandango, you still haven't heard the music yet. That was a very, very good perception from Klaus, but you can take another crack at it.
Yeah, that's a 10.
No, whatever he's talking about, you just do not catch it. Maybe weasel ears are better than bird ears.
Fair enough, I'm going back to sleep.
All right. The next morning.
I hope that was like an entire fucking entire storyline that Drew had planned out that we just never get to experience because Klaus was too busy just like sucking his own dick.
Oh, there's tons of stuff on this island.
Don't even give me that shit. I tried, and I was responded to with insults, and fuck that. I said I was being courteous to everyone. I thought, all right, I'm gonna let everybody sleep, but I know Fandango's interested in music. Maybe he'll enjoy this. I was a pinnacle of courtesy.
Hey guys, can anyone else hear that? No? Okay, glop. We'll never know. We'll never know what adventure we missed out on.
I'm okay with that because I did not see Klaus sucking his own dick this time.
All right. Well, we wake up from our strategic location, specifically designed to not have to watch Klaus.
Okay. Everybody, give me one more round of perceptions.
Hour of the Gods gets a 17.
Klaus rolls a 6. He sucked his dick twice tonight, and he's groggy.
He's all gummed up. Brandon Firemaster rolled an 8.
Fandango also rolled an 8.
Bjorg rolled a 17.
Very nice. All right, I was trying to find a token for this, but you're just going to have to use your imaginations.
Oh, man.
I know, right? Sons of bitches. So, Stallion of the Gods and Bjorg the Boar...
Borg.
They both hear the sound of fast movement overhead, and then something falling.
Everybody, duck.
No, parrot, you fucking idiot.
Amazon drones.
I don't know what's up there, but I don't trust the sky.
We'll say right on rock number 7, it comes tumbling down. A huge sack that slams into the rock and bursts open, spilling what smells like nutritional food pellets all over the ground.
Ooh, nutritional food pellets.
Well, all right then.
You guys have heard it mentioned more than once that food just kind of comes to you around here.
I will
Sweet.
go in.
Bjorg,
I'm gonna go eat.
Bjorg is going to look at that and go, I shouldn't eat pig food, but pig noises!
Brandon Firemaster recognizes this might be more socially acceptable than eating his friends.
Fandango moves to the far corner of the rock from Brandon Thighmouster and starts eating.
I also have a huge sack that bursts nutrition.
God damn it.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Fuck. Fuck. God damn it.
Doing my best to ignore Klaus. Can anybody cast Detect Magic? We want to make sure we're not being enchanted further with this shit.
Nope.
Well, you're useless.
I am as magical as that sack.
What do you think? What's the more magical version? You turn into 2 horses?
Well, he already turned into like 5 horses in the last episode.
Yeah, I've already kind of been there.
Yeah. You have a memory of being all 5 horses, the foot horses and the main horse. It's horrifying.
Oh God, I'm a horse with the memory of an elephant.
You never forget.
Horseception.
That's okay. Klaus is a weasel with the dick of an elephant.
That is an image that lives in my head now, and I will never be rid of it.
Just like The Rock said, baby. You're welcome.
I have my doubts.
Fine. I will eat some horse pellets.
All right. The pellets are fine. They're not the worst food you've ever had by any stretch. They're not the best. They are nutritional. You feel sated after eating them.
I'm starting to see the appeal of fresh meat on this island. This is essentially just animal oatmeal.
You're not terribly wrong.
Generic nutrition. It tastes like nutrition.
I will point out that if you decide to try to eat any of us, the weasel is full of extra protein right now.
Isn't he actually down some protein?
You consumed it yourself.
Yeah, it's kind of an
quite a bit of
Ouroboros
protein.
situation.
That is the most horrifying world snake.
Some kind of self-sustaining power source.
Wait, horse are they made out of horse?
Are you asking if the pellets are made out of horse?
Yes.
You can smell them.
Okay.
I'm gonna say roll me an investigation check. Let's just see what you get. What the hell?
All right.
We probably should have done that before we started eating them. That's, yeah.
Tastes like our old bodies.
Does it count as getting your body back if you eat it?
Something's making me expect Chris Evans in a train through the snow.
All right. Klaus rolls a 22 for investigation.
You do not smell anything that's familiar like horse, and you have one right next to you for comparison, so it's a pretty easy check. You don't smell any horse in there. You don't smell any animal that you can recognize at all in there. You do smell a few vegetables that are, kind of just baseline roots and stuff. But other than that, nothing that you can tell.
The only reason I asked is because back in the day I used to stock groceries at Food Lion, and I used to stock a lot of cat food, and it was a joke between a friend of mine and I. They had all these different flavors of fucking cat food, like your cat gave a shit, but and we just called them all equestrian entree.
No.
And I thought, we're probably eating cat food.
No. Speaking as the cat, this is bullshit. Very little protein going on here.
Klaus will be happy to provide you with some protein.
Oh, God, no.
It comes with its own straw.
Oh, God, no.
No, I don't. Well, yeah, I will spill my seed in a bowl for you, but not straight from the source.
What part of oh God
Brandon
no do you not
Thigh-Master in
understand?
cat form has wronged me before.
What do we title this one? The Unforgivable episode?
Yeah, the unlistenable episode.
I think with both of those, we're going to have to narrow the field a little.
Equestrian entree.
Look, if I have to eat one of my friends, I'm definitely eating Klaus last.
Back to the top of the statue for the bird.
Yeah, Gordon's gonna move over here to finish eating.
Bjorg has got his fill, and he is moving away from where Klaus is. That is just not okay. He's gonna contemplate pork thoughts.
Telling the guys to keep eating because at this point, death would be a mercy.
Brandon Firemaster is going to eat the pellets, but also entertain pork thoughts.
All right, so
Try it, and I will gore you.
Yeah, you're gonna work for that meal. Of all the people to go for, the barbarian is a bold choice.
Hey, I'm
the
just
barbarian who can turn back into Bjorg with his swords.
I can't help my appetites.
the stomach wants what the stomach wants.
Don't make me kick the cat.
Klaus needs to replenish some energy. I will
No.
eat the pellets. I'll eat the pellets. Everybody's fucking eating the pellets.
I can have a pellet just because I suck my own dick. Fuck you.
But with us, there's zero chance that it's a euphemism.
All right, you can have some nutritional pellets. They are fine.
All right, so where do we go to get the rest of you guys your bodies back so that I can keep mine for more than a minute?
Well, I think mine was in the desert, and I think somebody else's was in the desert.
There was the desert and the plains, I believe. I think my body was definitely in one of those locations. However, I can't see the other locations for the trees. Fandango, why don't you...
Fly up and look around?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to,
Nah.
stereotype you based on the bird thing, but...
If it puts me lower down on the priority of you eating your friends, I'm okay with that, so...
Okay, good. Glad we have an understanding.
Yeah. All right, I'll fly up and look to see which is closer, the plains or the desert.
Cool.
All right, you flutter up. Let's see. Fly up, you look around, and it looks like the forest kind of naturally gives way into the plains. That would be the next spot.
Alrighty, guys. The plains looks like the next logical place for us to go. And I understand that normally that would mean that we go to the desert. But really, just once. Let's do the shit that makes sense.
I'm impressed with Fandango's pectoral muscles being able to flap his wings so hard that he can lift into the sky. It's a shame Brandon Thighmaster isn't that developed.
Have you seen? I'm rocking some serious shoulders right now. And the way I'm positioned now, I'm not upright, so no one can really see my pecs, so I don't give a shit. But you can see these shoulders. Yeah? And check out these haunches.
What can I say? I am a pretty birdie.
I mean, your legs aren't even developed enough to stand upright. It's got a point.
When people say, like, bird-chested, they don't normally mean it as a good thing. No one looks at a bird and says that bird is ripped. But, puma-shouldered. Yeah.
Literally no one's ever said that in history.
I'm saying it right now.
Can you just try to flap your front legs?
Or me.
Yeah.
Or you first.
Nah, go ahead, Klaus.
I'm no legend.
Go ahead, Klaus.
Yeah, I'll do it. Fine.
All right, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and lift Klaus while he flaps his front legs.
And now I gotta look up the weight of an average weasel.
Less than 10 pounds.
That's a big fucking weasel.
He's just got to look like a floating, spasmodic ghost dick. Just flapping around in the air.
Oh.
If this is supposed to somehow shame me, I don't know what to tell you guys.
His dick is spinning around like a propeller, just lifting him up.
Well, no, I mean, after I lifted the axe that Bjorg couldn't carry, and now I'm flying when Brandon can't.
Are you
There's
seriously telling me
something about me.
that me as this sleek puma killing machine should be ashamed that he can't fly as other pumas might be able to?
I mean, have you ever asked a puma if it can fly? For all you know, maybe they just haven't felt like flying when you were watching.
Maybe a puma doesn't need to fly.
If pumas can fly, I'll work it out.
Okay, I'll put Klaus down then.
I mean, heck, we learned during the game that pigs can fly.
Look, why are you like this?
All right, let's go to the plains.
Sure, I'll trot ahead using my highly developed puma muscles. Graceful and sleek.
I will impart upon them the direction that the plains were in.
Well, just for funsies, why don't we try a survival round?
Sleek and confident, like a walking poem. I'm sure my roll will back that up.
17.
Arrow of the Gods gets an 8.
Ooh, Brandon Firemaster rolls a 16. Sleek!
Bjorg rolls a 6.
Klaus also rolls a 6.
Oh, not great, but none of you slipped below 5, and 2 of you did pretty good. So you can successfully head toward, through the paths of the forest.
I like to think that I'm bounding through this forest, and it almost looks, even though it's physically impossible, that I'm moving in slow motion. Because I am that sleek and perfect. And the way that the light hits my puma form makes you all feel very inadequate right now.
Compared to the thoroughbred that is the Stallion of the Gods, you probably are moving in slow motion.
Well, he rolled an 8. That's the problem.
That's not
He
a speed, that's just survival.
Yeah, but it's about how we move through the terrain. You probably, like, stumbled over a log and accidentally put your face on Klaus's dick or something.
I feel pretty good because, my pectoral muscles were strong enough to lift me into the air in spite of my enormous dick.
I smell truffles, and it is distracting.
Truffles?
Truffles.
Let's hope it's truffles.
Truffles.
You guys are still kind of in a forest.
Pig noises.
All right, why don't we go ahead and load up a new map?
Load.
And as we enter this new map, why don't we do a new round of perception checks?
Fendingo rolls a 12.
Klaus rolls another 6.
Arrow rules a 9.
Brandon Firemaster only rolls a 6.
You might do better if you fly.
All right, I'll learn to fly. If that's what you think a perfect puma should be able to do. I'll work it out.
Bjorg rolls a 17.
Did we
All
happen to pass through a valley getting to the plains?
You guys aren't to the plains yet. You're on your way out of the forest.
All right.
Hence all the trees.
I can't see the forest for the trees. I also can't see shit for the crappy rolls, but whatever.
Yeah, that was a interesting one to get those perceptions on for sure. Bjorg, you look out on the seemingly idyllic stream. So I will give you general stuff because nobody, natural wonder or anything. It is a kind of a stream area. There's some big boulders that are blocking the way. There's a huge sheer cliff thing in front of you guys. The bridges are a little bit rickety. The trees are tall and dense. They would be difficult to navigate through. And then the river is fairly deep. Like, you would all have to swim through it. Well, Fandigo, for you to swim through it, you would still have to swim. My statement stands.
Fair.
These bridges are rickety.
If you somehow forgot you could fly for a moment, you would definitely have to swim.
Right.
Yeah. If you end up in the drink, you will be swimming in it. Bjorg, you can't quite put your finger on what, but something here feels a little off. And you notice something twinkling in the water down there.
I'm going to investigate. Just going to look, see if I can get a better look at it.
Investigate is more of a up-close thing. Your perception was, that was what you got.
Is there any way to, try and see it better?
You
Or would I have to
could,
trust
if you
it?
had, something to improve your vision, or if you wanted to change position and get a different angle. But it's kind of like looking at something. You're looking at it, you see it, but this is the best you can see it for now.
There's something in the water over there. It's all twinkly and stuff.
And at this point, let's have you guys roll initiatives.
Oh, dear.
Did anyone not see that coming? Because
Stallion of the Gods rolls an 11.
Bjorg rolls a dirty 20.
Klaus rolls a 24.
Fendingo rolls a 12.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 22.
I don't see Brandon. Oh, no, there's Brandon. I don't see Klaus on the...
Did you click on your weasel?
The one time you're not touching your weasel.
Oh, I guess I should roll for Gordon.
Yeah, come on, Gordon, keep up.
He's here. Hey, you never know. You might be glad to have him in a fight at some point. Like if you guys find that bear again. Alrighty, Klaus. You have first move.
I suppose the bridge is rickety, but I'm only a lowly weasel. I'm going to try and cross it.
Just give me an acrobatics, because there are holes in it that you're having to skirt around and stuff. Let's just make sure you keep your balance and everything.
Acrobatics coming up. Klaus rolls a 22.
You're fine, man. All right, move whatever your movement speed is.
I'm just going to go to the other side, see what I see. 30. And I move 25.
Perfect. All right, if you want to burn an action for another perception, you can.
Alright, I'll do that. Boss rolls a 7.
Trees, rocks, and water. What a lovely combination.
I will convey that information to my peers.
Thanks, buddy.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Well, Klaus made that look easy. Yeah, I'll trot along the bridge.
Okay, I need an acrobatics and a percentage.
Oh dear.
Pick a run between. Pick a 10 number run.
Well, I only rolled a 6 for acrobatics, so do I still need to do the other thing?
You do, because that's part of determining how much trouble you have.
30 to 40.
Okay. Roll a D100, and don't hit 31 to 40.
Sure. 9.
Okay. The bridge is very rocky and sway as you move, but nothing gives out. And with your subpar acrobatics, you are reduced to moving at half speed.
Okay, half speed for Pumify Master, I believe, is about 20 feet. So I think, let me just double check, I can get to the end of the bridge safely on dry land. Just about.
You will have to burn some of your movement from your action to stop blocking the bridge, or just block the bridge for the entire next round.
Well, I am very awkward, but on the other hand, I don't want to be near this water if I can help it. I don't want to be near Klaus if I can help it either. Do I get another movement action?
You do have another movement, or you can take an action.
I don't want to take an action. I just don't want to be near the water or the weasel.
All right. Bjornsson, how you feeling about that bridge?
Oh, it looks very rickety, right?
Indeed it does.
Can I run across it?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to get deft-footed with this shit. What do I need to roll?
An acrobatics, and I'm going to need you to... I wouldn't move yourself all the way across just
okay,
yet.
sorry. It was there. Put him there.
I'm going to need an acrobatics, and I am going to need you to pick a span of 30 digits. So, for example, 1 to 30.
Okay. You know what? I'll just go with 1 to 30, and there's my acrobatics, which is 10.
Okay. And then D100.
Okay, D100. 16.
Uh-oh.
Which is within the range that you picked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
So, as Bjorg attempts to race across, he rocks the bridge badly, snaps off a piece of plank, and goes tumbling into the drink.
Yay. Scream! Pig noises! Pig noises!
Pig down.
Do I need to roll anything to swim?
I'm actually looking that up right now. I can never remember how swimming works, but I think in
it's
5e it's pretty straightforward.
I think it's athletics, but I'm not sure.
I believe it is too. We'll just do athletics for now, and
Okay.
then I'll double check it as we go.
All right, let's roll that. So just roll an athletics check.
Yeah, give me an athletics. The current isn't too strong.
And that is a nat 1.
Okay, Bjorg, as you are turning around in the water, you think you see the light, and you charge for it with all your might, and you slam your head into the shiny river rocks.
Welcome
down
to
at the
my
base.
world.
To be honest, that's exactly as well as I assumed a pig could swim. So
You take 5 damage.
Okay.
It's been a long time since any of us almost drowned, so this is... we are
we're
due.
Getting back to your roots. And you are underwater as we go to Fandango.
Huh. Well, I can't pick up a pig with my mage hand, so I want to fly down to where he said there were shiny things and see if I can see the shiny thing.
Have fun drowning.
Fuck you, I fly.
All right. I guess move as far as you can on one movement, and then roll a percent.
I'll just fly down and perch on the I'm assuming that some of these ropes are like handrails.
They are, but you're still going to need to roll a perception to find the thing Bjorg was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to fly as far as I can. I'll just perch on the far handrail of this bridge.
What's your movement speed as a bird?
60 feet.
Jesus. Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, because that's only 45 feet away. Let me double check that, but...
Oh, yeah, because your movement
Yeah.
speed is 10 feet.
Yeah, fly of 60 feet. Alright, so yeah, I'm perched on this handrail rope thing. And perception 22.
Oh, would you look at that?
I am
So,
looking at that.
Fandango, you're going to notice, looking down, you can easily see the object that caught Bjorg's attention glinting in the sunlight. It looks like a set of armor that's sort of barely submerged somehow, even though like it's floating just below the surface, kind of bobbing back and forth, like it might be caught on something below the bridge or something. Yeah, it's a set of armor, which is definitely interesting.
Hey, Bjorg,
also,
as you swim past, grab that armor.
Bjorg is still underwater.
He's currently barely conscious under the water.
I don't know that.
So with a 22 and your vantage point, you will be able to see... First off, there's a big mound here. I know it looks a lot like the mountain, but there is a kind of a big pile of dirt over here.
Okay.
A little interesting. And then probably slightly more interesting is the slumbering thing kind of curled up on the other side of this giant rock, which looks like I would say an earth elemental if I were just picking and choosing, like napping against the stone thing, just kind of gently letting out little whispers of dirt as it snores softly.
All right. Note to self. We'll stay the fuck away from that.
And, with a 22, I'll give you this. Boy, you know that you're seeing it, like, moving and everything? It does look a lot like some of the other boulders that were around this area.
Hey guys, don't shit on any boulders.
Well, that basically just assures they will. And as we leave Fandango, let's see what Gordon can do. Probably barely walk across. Alright, he has the movement. Let's see if he has the acrobatics. And Gordon will also take the just straight up 1 to 10. 29. Nothing gives out on the bridge. He uses his other movement to get the hell away from the bridge. Stallion of the Gods.
What are the chances of gracefully galloping up and leaping over the water?
I can't wait to find out.
I guess we'll see.
I really hope a 22 perception lets me see this shit.
Yeah, you're jumping in an unfamiliar body, but it is a body made for jumping, so...
This is either going to be majestic or hilarious.
And a lot of it, it's going to come down to the acrobatics check.
I'm good either way.
Actually, I need an athletics and an acrobatics. Let's see how well you jump and how well you jump.
All right, well, which one do you want first?
Dealer's choice.
All right, athletics is a double natural one.
Wow,
Jesus.
that's
my God.
impressive.
He's still getting used to not having other horses for feet.
The best part of this is he's probably going to land on Bjorg.
I'm not sure. It's like Klaus was talking about my pectoral muscles and my ability to stand upright. But I'd like to, at some point, roll something for me to stand on my hind legs and sarcastically clap this horse.
However, acrobatics is a 17.
All right, you see Stallion of the Gods just race forward and do a very graceful leap that has no power behind it. Like, he hits some mud, and it's just a falling motion almost with style, thanks to the acrobatics, as he tumbles down and smashes his face directly into a plank. And goes careening off into the water, where I'm going to need an athletics check for swimming now. And you take 8 damage as you Face smash.
However, athletics is a 24.
The pain has woken you. You know who you are. This body works under your command.
And horses can swim.
And horses can swim.
You hear a sound like two fluffy slippers being knocked rhythmically together as Puma Flymaster sits on his haunches and attempts to applaud.
You could lay on your back and do it.
I was purposely trying to dive into the water.
I think it's more out purpose. You just got jaw jacked.
As I just spit out a couple teeth.
Yeah, with the weight of a horse.
From the depths echoes, surely you did.
I meant to do that.
You motherfucker.
Oh, brings us back around to Klaus.
Hey Klaus, why don't you put those weasel muscles to work and go rescue our friends? Drag them out the river with your mighty weasel strength.
I don't have mighty weasel strength. I'm a weasel. And I'm a rogue.
That's right, you don't.
No, I never claimed to.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd point out.
Let's see. I see you said the trees are dense, but I'm a weasel.
Yes.
Can I go into the trees and check out this other bridge?
You may move through the trees at half speed, even for you, because it is very difficult terrain.
Okay.
And then there is also a path over here, but but you can push through the trees if you would like.
All right, I'll move 3. Well, no, because the first step is not through the trees, so I can probably move to the front of the bridge. Can I not?
I think with a 30-foot move speed, that should be doable. But you are gonna need to roll me 3.
Uh-oh.
I'll just make them acrobatics. Yeah. 3 acrobatics checks.
Okay. Coming right up. Double natural 20s, 21, and 16.
Okay, you don't take damage.
That's nice. Do I have an idea of what I might have taken damage from?
Yeah, just the density of the bark, and it's very thorny, spiky. So as you're pulling yourself through, there were a lot of opportunities to snag yourself and lose a little bit of HP. But you were so dexterous that you got through without issue. In one section, very dexterous.
Yeah. Wow.
Spinning around, leaping on the thorns.
But you were in the trees, so nobody saw you.
Everybody, this way is clear. It's safe to come through.
Brandon and Gordon exchange a look.
Klaus, did you want to do anything besides your move?
As long as I'm here on the bridge, I might as well take a perception, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead. Those athletics were saves, not checks, so they don't count against you. Or acrobatics, not athletics.
Klaus rolls a 15.
Okay, you see the armor in the water, and that is it.
All right. It doesn't look weasel-sized, does it?
Nope, looks standard, humanoid, medium size.
That's bullshit.
Is the stream so deep that even Stallion of the Gods has to swim?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I noted the armor is just kind of bobbing right below the surface, even though it should probably be sinking. It looks like it's caught on some.
Cool.
But the water is deep enough that you all have to swim if you're in the water.
Right. I was just trying to figure out if I could turn back into my normal form, jump in, and deal with shit. But no.
I mean, you could. It'd probably be easier to swim in your normal form than in bird form.
But I'd get wet.
All right, so we did Klaus, Brandon Thymouster.
Okay, well, Klaus's route seemed pretty impenetrable. I'm going to go the long way around. I'm going to try and head my sinking buddies off at a pass, see if I can overtake him on the river. So I'm going to move across what I should imagine is just a perfectly normal pile of rocks, as far as I know.
All right, as you're getting up to that one, give me a perception.
Perception coming up. 21.
Very nice. Okay, so you are going to get 2 things. 1, I know. Shocker.
Ooh,
Sleepy.
sleepy earth elemental.
Sleepy Earth Elemental. 2, you notice that within this pile of rocks, there appears to be some sort of chest.
The life of my friends, or what's in the box?
Now there's risk and reward.
I'm above material things, at least until I get my actual body back with its sweet decorations. I'd like to try and stealth past this, what I have suddenly realized is an earth elemental.
All right, give me a stealth check.
Okay. I get 6. I'm a puma. Jesus. I'd assume I'd have an advantage on this sort of thing.
Let's see what his perception is. Oh, it's a 0. It's just a straight up roll. So it's just a d20. Got a 7. Oh God. I don't think that's enough to wake him. I don't think a 1 over a sleeping one is that bad. It's not like these guys are lightly sleeping.
All right, well, I'll move past him. Apparently with total disregard for waking up this earth elemental.
You're still sneaking badly, but he's, I guess, sleeping pretty soundly.
I'm a disgrace to cats everywhere. I'm still trying to walk on hind legs and applaud at the same time as I walk past this earth elemental.
Let's see.
You should have flown.
I'm starting to see that maybe there are advantages in being able to fly. Yes, that's true.
Bjorg, I gotta have an athletics check, buddy. I gotta see how you're swimming now.
Hold on.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect the bridge to be this big of a sticking point.
It's the new well. 21.
All right, you have knocked a little sense into yourself. You figure out, all right, the light source. That's where I need to be heading. You swim up, and you break the surface, and you feel the water kind of move strangely around you as you're pushed slightly downstream.
All right.
Do you want to? You move at half speed, but you can swim for the edge if you would like.
Yeah, I think I'm going to swim for the opposite shore. Do I need to roll again for that, or?
No, the athletics will just do that as one good swim check.
All
You're
right.
not surprised anymore.
Am I out?
Move to whichever shore you're aiming for.
I'm going for the opposite shore.
Okay, gonna cross the bridge again. Excellent. I think you still got some movement left.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I could move through the trees.
You cannot move through the trees, but this is the
Okay.
path that leads to this bridge. So
Okay, I'll get on the bridge then.
All right, I think you are on the bridge with Klaus and Fendingo. Oh, you can now see your armor better. You already had it on perception.
I'm out of the water. What is that? What is that in the water? This armor. It's what? Is there a person in it?
Don't know yet, but there are 2 earth elementals sleeping, so shh.
Oh, I will try to be very quiet.
Thanks. That's great.
Now we get to play a very fun game of dice to see the order in which things occur. Okie dokie. Fendingo, you're up next.
I have the utmost faith that Stallion of the Gods is going to just boogie right up and hop up onto the shore with no problem. So I want to get a closer look at this armor. Is that an investigation to see what I want to see what it's hung on and what kind of armor it is, so I'll know roughly how heavy it is.
When you say get a closer look, I need you to define that a little for me. Are you flying down?
Yeah, I want to
you
fly down
peering?
to right over the armor and look at it.
Okay, I am gonna need a dex check to try and hover, because that is a little bit of a workout for a parrot.
11.
Okay, you can hold that position. Yeah, give me an investigation.
All right. 16.
All right. It is... looks like plate armor. It's got some very neat aquatic kind of themes to it. There's like embedded images of waves. It looks kind of fancy, like somebody had made it. It looks like some chunk of it is a hit, like it's got some like spikes and stuff to it too. It looks like one of them got wedged into one of the poles running down from the bridge, and that's what's kind of keeping it in place.
All right, I'll fly back up and relay that information to Bjorg and Klaus.
So somebody made this armor. Not for me. I only wear organically grown armor.
It looks heavy as fuck, so I'm not going to mess with it. But it's probably expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Gordon will quietly burn his turn up, getting closer to everybody. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Stallion of the Gods. I need an athletics check.
A 9.
Oh, you are able to stay afloat, but you have no real control over where you're going now. You kind of just flow along with the slight current a bit.
Look at me, I'm a seahorse.
If you want to try again, you can attempt another one.
All right.
For your next movement.
Gotcha. A 12.
That's enough that you can have half speed.
Well, half speed is more than enough to get me 10. That's more than enough to get me to the armor where, and I'll see what I can do to, I guess, next turn to wedge it out of place.
All right. Do you touch it or anything, or you're just approaching?
I mean, if I have the ability to touch it, I'll try to grab onto it with my teeth.
You kind of bonk into it a little bit, and as you do, we're gonna, interestingly enough, I swear to you, this is just how the timing worked out. But somebody's turn in initiative just came. So you, behind Stallion of the Gods, some of the water that Bjorg swam through begins to form together.
Uh-oh.
And at the same time, the armor starts to move, and it rises up from the water, and you realize it wasn't just submerged, it was filled, as a flowing form is wearing this plate armor. And it looks at you, Stallion of the Gods, and says, "Do you seek to be the greatest of warriors?" It's the best I can do for an aquatic voice.
Well, I'm the Stallion of the Gods. I like to think I already am. But assuming there is such a thing as someone greater than me, then yes.
Hello.
All right. With that, we will take a break on this episode of Authors and Dragons, because that feels like a good stopping point for the game part. But don't worry, we're not done. As you know, we run a live blog during all of this at facebook.com/authorsanddragons, where we like to take your questions, which we'll be getting to shortly. But before that, we allow our Discord folks from the Patreon, patreon.com/authorsanddragons, to cut the line with their special paying questions. So, Rick, why don't you take us away?
Well, before we get to the questions, we had a couple fuck you requests. Fluffed asks if we can get a fuck you butter for his dog who's going to the vet. And one more.
Is this dog a Patreon member?
Is this a new life for us? Are we saying fuck you to a dog now?
Is that really a low, though?
I mean, I like dogs. All right, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck you,
Butter.
Butters.
Fuck you, Butter.
You innocent animal.
Get well soon, Butter.
Also, our friend Shane is visiting his brother and wanted to know if we can give him a fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Shane's brother.
Yeah.
Your shit's brother.
Shane pays for Patreon. You're in his shadow.
Fuck you, Shane's brother. Why aren't you one of our patrons?
We only make that exception for the dogs.
All
I
right.
do like dogs.
To be fair, dogs aren't very good at interneting.
Despite what memes would have you believe.
Nah, the internet's totally for cats.
Yeah.
Very true.
It would be really interesting if we had a few dogs paying for our Patreon.
$5 is $5.
But we have the next best thing, kissing our own asses. As our friend Britt asks, how has your writing process and or style changed from your first book to your current one?
Ooh, it's a bit deep.
I mean, I'd like to think I suck less, but probably not.
Yeah, in general, I gotta agree. I'm not by any means a great writer, but I think I am a bit of a better writer now than I was in my first book. I look at that book and it's fun, but yeah, if I wrote it now, there'd be some things I'd change. Suck less, just like John said.
That's part of just growing as at anything you're trying at. We've been doing this for years now. If we couldn't look back at our first efforts and see room for improvement, that would be a cause for concern.
I can offer a way that I wouldn't say that my process has changed exactly, but I would say that I've refined it, because once you write a book, you sort of start to figure out what works for you, like what makes you able to finish something. And probably the biggest difference between now and when I started is when I started, I would literally just seat of my pants the entire thing. And I still do that to an extent. I don't really outline in the way that a lot of people do, but I do. I have less an outline and more sort of a projection in my head and a number of beats that I want to hit and that I know I need to hit and that I kind of find my way between. And on a mechanical level, the thing that I started doing that really helped me is when I first start a project, I create a bunch of chapter files in Scrivener, usually about 25. And then I start naming chapter titles, because for some reason titles come first to me. And then that gives me an idea of both the tone I want in a given chapter, as well as just the theme and maybe a couple of things that'll happen there. And once I have that all sketched out, it makes the book look like whole. There's an endpoint, so I'm not just completely getting lost going, where the fuck am I going? I don't always stick to it. In fact, I rarely stick to it, but that's actually like a mechanical thing that I've started doing that has actually allowed me to, finish things.
Nice. I would say my process has changed in that I'm way more aware of my weaknesses and I take active steps to combat against them. Like, I had one editor when I started out, and now I have at least 2, sometimes 3, multiple self-reviews, just a lot more checks in the system, because I've realized how weak I am on that front, and so I've shored up the process to compensate. So it's stuff like that, a little better data management, but mostly I focus on figuring out where I need to improve and then trying to either improve, or if it's like editing and I'm doing the best I can and this is what it is, finding other ways to compensate for that.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've gotten a lot of I've gotten beaten up a lot by my editors, but I've tried to internalize a lot of that stuff. So as I go through, I ask myself, it's like, okay, is this as streamlined as it could be? Am I doing too much of this? It's like, is that comma in the wrong fucking place, like you always put it? So it's like, it's just been in some ways learning the rules of writing is bad, because I think when you don't know what you're doing, it kind of makes it maybe a little more pure. But at the same time, I look back at my early drafts versus the things I hand off to my editor today, and it's like it's night and day.
I'm of the E.E. Cummings school of thought of you can break the rules like a motherfucker. You just have to know what rules you're breaking.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm all about that, yeah.
You can, if it's done with intent, then it's fine. But when you're ignorant of what you're doing, then it's no bueno, because you can't repeat it, you can't explain to anybody why you did it the way you did it.
I'd say, expanding on that, something I've become a lot more aware of as I do things is why you're doing something. Is it thematic? Is it coming from the kind of central theme that you're operating from? Does it serve a purpose? Does it drive the plot forward? I think in my first trilogy, I had a lot of deviations. I really enjoyed those deviations. And, you know, one of the advantages of writing comedy is sometimes you can just do something because it's funny. But I think I've probably become a little bit more streamlined just by asking myself, why are you doing this bit?
I've seen that a lot in your deconstruction of some fiction that I've seen you, well, deconstruct. And I'm not trying to sound stupid, sorry. Yeah, I think you really have a gift for that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's kind of like writing should always. I hate to sound like I'm being a hippie about this, but writing should always be fun and wondrous and an exploration until you want someone else to read it, and then you've got to kind of figure out what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the opposite of what I'm saying, though. Like, you know, like what I'm talking about, what I've seen is like, you know, somebody writes comedy and it was fun for them, and you say, no, here's some reasons why what you wrote is not funny, and I'm going to break it down for you. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just experience. I remember I used to read a lot of the Cracked articles. I loved those guys. And there was an article by...
Well, that's where I met you, in the Cracked forums.
That's right. And DOB, I think, Dan O'Brien, and these guys are all writing for television now. They're very competent writers. They know what they're doing. And he said, it's like, you can't really pin down comedy. As soon as you try to explain comedy, it becomes unfunny. But I think starting at just kind of really analyzing why you think something is funny and why you are doing something, and you start to kind of see the mechanics of it a bit more.
If you explain it, you know, to the person that it's supposed to be funny to, sure, but
yeah.
I mean, you're breaking it down behind the scenes, is what I'm saying.
If you look at the stuff you're doing mechanically, it does kind of help you keep on focus. And I think maybe I've become a little bit more streamlined because of that.
All right, we should probably take another question.
All right. Actually, this one is for you, Steve. Our friend Stage Mike asks, what's the backstory on the theme song?
Oh, this is the Gorkor 4. I don't know if I want to explain the Gorkor 4. I don't know if I want to rob them of their mystery.
You don't have to.
Yeah, no, I got to leave that out. Yeah, I went to the Gorkor 4. What I did is I went into the English countryside on a full moon, climbed the Cockshake Mountain, and basically I have like a handful of loose change in my pocket, and I throw it into the atmosphere. I don't know where they land, but I hear wildlife noises when they land. And then about 2 weeks later, a theme tune was, emailed to me digitally, because we live in the modern world. And that's basically how the theme tune happened.
Imagine what we would have gotten if you just squirted a load up there.
Oh no, yeah, well that was the other theme tune. That's how I got the yeast infection theme tune. So there are different. There's like a whole chart. There's a whole fucking almanac you have to go through on what to do, on what phases the moon, and whether you have to jerk off or rob somebody for old change. It's a whole thing. It's very technical.
Well done.
And I think if I explain it, it robs the mystery of how the theme tune came to be. But yeah, basically it was jacking off on a hill and magic, and that's it.
You want to do another? Or?
We could probably transition over to the Facebook questions.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because that last answer for Patreon was fucking disturbing enough, so...
This is what they pay for, John. They pay for the truth. And I respect our patrons.
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. Our friend Daniel says, what are some celebrity impressions y'all can do?
None.
I do an all right Bronson.
Robert Bevan.
Robert Bevan.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Arthurs and Dragons.
I think I've tried to do... I'm terrible at any kind of impersonation at all, especially when put on the spot. I think I've tried to do 2 on a podcast. On the Mimic Chest, I think I did a surprisingly mostly to me, good Richard Nixon and a surprisingly terrible Christopher Walken. So you can go check them out on the Mimic Chest.
Oh, I guess I have one. The Discord pointed out that Mr. Hister, our character from earlier this game and mostly last game, apparently sounds a lot like Wallace Shaw from The Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah.
Which was not intentional, but I definitely hear it.
Yeah.
So I guess I do an okay Wallace Shaw impression.
Well done. That's something to put in the old knapsack.
But only when playing a game show host Snake.
Well, yes. It's quite limited possibilities, that's true.
That gives us a good goal to shoot for if we ever become insanely rich and connected and powerful, is make an animated version of this and have the actual Wallace Shaw voice Mr. Hister.
Of course, that's something to shoot for.
After cocaine statues.
Rich enough to have a cocaine statue of...
Terry Pratchett.
There we go.
And Wallace Shaw voicing Mr. Hister.
We don't ask for much.
What's our next Facebook question?
All right. Let's see here. So our friend Mark asks, who is your favorite professional wrestler?
And why is it Ric Flair?
That's such a fucking question, man. That could be a whole podcast for me and John.
Yeah. And...
Not an episode, a podcast.
And we can... And it's what era, what style. I mean...
Oh, yeah. That's...
Yeah, I mean... So much.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with The Undertaker. Because just through my life growing up, he was such a constant, and I mean constant fucking until a few years ago too. The guy really put in the years.
Constant until this week.
Yeah.
He officially retired this week.
Oh, again, okay. I wrote like a farewell to him a few years ago when he retired, so I just kind of checked out on that one. But yeah, like he was very huge in my childhood. He was consistent. He had a great gimmick. Even during his shitty years, he was great. Like for overall lifetime, like when I think of wrestling, I tend to think of The Undertaker. So I think I would have to give it to him.
I think mine might very well be... It might not be Ric Flair. It may actually be Rey Mysterio Jr.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching him since the early 90s. And he's still working at a really high level today.
Which is insane for a fucking flyer.
Right. And the time I met him, he was nice. So that helps too.
Effectively could have also called this question Drew and John box everyone out of the conversation.
I'm going to say no.
I got one.
Rick can play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, probably not my favorite, like, in the ring, but just, like, interview-wise, I could have just watched Randy Savage just talk for hours, because he was just mesmerizingly insane to listen to.
I think
he's on a
you
different
could
level.
Stop that sentence at mesmerizingly insane.
You could take anything. You could take like an instruction manual on how to build some IKEA furniture, and he could just make that mesmerizing.
You're going to slam it down. Oh, yeah.
Charismatic intensity a lot, but he had it.
I gotta say, my favorite wrestler after his performance in both They Live and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is Roddy Piper.
No, nobody could draw heat like classic Roddy Piper.
Oh, yeah. I think the only one you could maybe make comparable is some of the Sergeant Slaughter bits during the Gulf War.
Yeah.
They got some death threat heat on that one.
Well, I mean, the Midnight Express back in the 80s. Hell, a guy stabbed Arn Anderson in Greenville, South Carolina. I mean, walking from the ring. Stabbed him.
Yeah, I don't know if that says more about Arn Anderson or South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, who's the real hero here, John?
At the time, he was playing a face.
Right. Yeah, the answer is yes, Drew.
More your neck of the woods than mine.
2 hours from right.
Like, if someone got stabbed in certain parts of Texas, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a stabbing part of town.
Oh, yeah, Greenville Coliseum in the 80s, yeah. 100% a stabbing part of the world.
Well, I've never fucked my sister, so I don't have an answer.
I mean, the rest of us have, so what's wrong with you?
Well, this is like a stunning fucking indictment on the world of professional wrestling there, Bevan. My God. I thought you were a man without enemies, but apparently not.
You thought that, did you?
Then you met him.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Authors and Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another game episode, and in one with an episode of Side Quest. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under a Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
At this point, death would be a mercy.